Johnson for West. Pins for East.
Thank you very much. So you have them.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go over this real quick. This rundown.
Okay.
Just follow the screen, but basically, that shot will go live with just a lower third. It's presented by Continental tires.
So when we come on, do you want me to set the scene, or do you want me to just do the
quick scene set.
Okay.
And you don't even need to hit it. It's got a Continental tire lower third, but then as soon as you go to the full screen billboard there,
So
make sure you read that Continental tire
okay.
thing.
And then actually do the little intro from Kyle's Drive.
Maddie's got the ball right
Just as if you were on camera, yeah, just for 30, 40 more seconds. And then, run these no intros or whatever. We got full page graphics for this group by defenders, goalkeepers, then forwards, and then same thing for the West. And then at the very end, we've got coaches, but they're on the same slab, so we'll just wait for both teams.
Okay, so I'll do East, I'll do West, then we'll do the coaches.
Yeah, and there's no way we'll give them lineup starting time at this point, so
that's fine.
Just hit them live.
Yeah, I mean, it'll give us something to waste some time talking about once the game gets going anyway.
Yeah. And you know what time this was actually kick off?
They've been late with everything anyway.
So this is just what you've got here?
Yeah, these are the starters that they're going to have. This girl didn't make it. This girl's going to start and then come out immediately.
Alright, so what time did they give them to you? Literally just now?
Yeah, that's what I was just out on the field doing. That's why.
So whatever, 10 minutes before I won't get it.
It's okay.
So, okay, just hit them verbally.
No problem.
Alright, awesome, thank you.
Yep. Is there clothes? No. Because the only thing I see here is after the game we'll go do highlights, go to a break, and then
the broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America.
Yes, yeah, I don't have that.
Let me
We'll do it at halftime.
Yeah. Alright, just follow the screen on the billboards, and you've got your readers there.
Yeah, got everything. I'm good to go. Keep an eye on the clock for me just in case it gets away. Let me know when I got a read coming up. You know?
Oh yeah, sure.
During the game?
College, you're going to be all around soccer players. Like the coaches, the college coaches always say to me, if we get 10 good shots on goal a game, that's spectacular. If we get 5 good shots on goals in a game, that's pretty much the average. And if you get 2 goals a game, you're looking good. So, you know, scoring is very limited in college.
Oh, yeah.
Usually comes down to who's got the best all around soccer players. Yeah. Our college pretty much everyone in college can score, everyone can do everything. We're the best soccer players. I always say I'll take a team full of good soccer players than 4 or 5 superstars. Every time. started. It'd be a game on the roof. Carolina.
You need a towel?
Good afternoon and welcome to Cardinal Gibbons High School here in Raleigh, North Carolina, the site of the 2013 Girls High School All-American Game here on NSCAA TV. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I am Kyle Straub alongside former North Carolina Tar Heel Kalia Ojai, and Continental Tires is the presenting sponsor of the 2013 Girls High School All-American Game here on NSCAATV.com. Kalia, these girls have come from all over the country. They have never played together for the most part, but they're going to play in this all-star game here today. You've gone through this. You've played at North Carolina. You were recruited. What are these girls kind of going through right now?
Yeah, I think they all are really excited to play, and it'll be really interesting to see how they gel and how they connect and how quickly they can find a rhythm in this game, because a lot of them have never played together. Some of them have, so we'll see which team can get into a rhythm quicker. And
unlike most games where it is all about the team, in this one it is all about the players. So let's take a look at the rosters. We'll start with the East All-Americans. As you get a shot of the teams here, a shot of the crowd. It's a chilly day here in Raleigh. The starting lineups for both teams we'll get to in a little bit. The West and the East players from all over the country. As you see the East girls here, the starting lineup for them while we have it up: Casey Martinez will be at forward with Eva Gordon and Kelly Novak. Rachel Corbos, Claire Shea, Eliza Dahl, Jessica Vigna, and Caroline Chagares will be at midfield with Alana O'Neill and Schuler Debris on defense, with Megan Hins in the goal. And you'll see on the east side a lot of girls going to Syracuse, a couple girls going to Duke, 4 of the girls actually going to Syracuse from the east side. So not only some players that have never played together, but this will be their first time that they can get their college career started with their future teammates. And the east side, we were talking to somebody before the game, 7 or 6 of the girls actually play on a club team together. So the East may have a little bit of an advantage going forward in this game because there is just a slight bit of familiarity with some of the girls.
Yeah, with 7 of them playing on the PDA Slammers, that would be an advantage for the East team.
And for the West, we'll take a look at their rosters. A lot of substitutions will happen in this game, as it is an all-star game, and starting lineups is just who are you going to put in. Every girl here is clearly deserving of being a starter, so you'll see a lot of substitutions. The rules in the game are not going to be typical rules. The coaches will be allowed to sub in and out as many girls as they want. You'll be allowed to re-enter as often as you want. The one thing we do know for a fact is which goalkeeper will be in. It'll be a half and a half for the East, as I mentioned. It'll be Megan Hins starting, and then they will switch that one in the second half. Courtney Bronson will come in, and the coaches also told us that if you don't start in the first half, they'll make sure the girls that didn't will start in the second half, and 22 on each team, so everybody will get to start at least a half here. And just a couple of girls still undeclared, and they hold this game where the College Cup is, so that they'll get some exposure. The girls got to go to the game last night, both of the games. Beautiful weather. We joked that they probably should have played the game yesterday, as it was in the 70s. Today, a little chilly, and hopefully the rain will hold off. It rained out earlier. As now we'll take a look at the West All-American team. Start with the goalkeepers and the defenders. Samantha Johnson will start in goal for the West. Then they will switch it over and put in Catherine Schmidt. Megan Nyber, Katie Prosser, Sarah Sullivan, and Kristen Trimmer will all start on defense. And then the midfielders, Busy Phillips, somebody who plays at the high school that you went to.
Yep.
Katie Keene, Rachel Bingham, and Taylor Jameson will start. And Katie Keene, you'll see there at Zionsville High School. Her coach actually here for the West Side, Ramon Aquilian. And I know you never played with Busy, but is it kind of cool to have somebody from your high school kind of following in your footsteps? You know, you came out and now she's taking over the reins coming into college.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to watch Busy play, and our high school coach is out here supporting us, and Busy and Rachel Bingham are actually both playing at BYU together, so it'll be interesting to get to watch them.
And you see here the forwards, Rachel Bingham, one of them, as you just mentioned, going to BYU. The starters will be Maddie Gaffney and Rachel Wheeler, as the forwards will probably be subbed a little bit more than the rest of the team for the West Side. And you can see right off the bat the coaching differences in what positions they decide to start. 3 forwards for the East, just 2 for the West, though. And not just the girls that have never played together, the coaches have never coached together. For the East, you have 2 coaches in Paul Heenan Heenahan and Tara Magin. They compete every year for state championships, and we joked a little bit, are they going to be okay on the sideline? But they said they're going to be yelling at the same refs. So it'll be okay for them here today, as you see the rest of the coaches for the East and West on the screen there. All of these coaches, top coaches across the country, constantly have their teams competing for national championships, state championships, and as I just mentioned, Paul Heenahan, one of the coaches, the winningest coach in high school soccer history. And not coaching in this game, but you mentioned your coach is here, and you won 4 state championships, so he can't be too bad of a coach either. It doesn't hurt when you have players like yourself and Busy.
Yeah.
There's a shot of head coach Paul Heenahan from Ramapo High School. Tara Magin, Northern Highlands, both of them out of Jersey.
Paul and Tara joked before the game saying they have a psychiatrist at the hotel helping them through the game. So,
well, I was here yesterday for the practice, and even though Tara was working with the forwards and the midfielders, Paul was down working with the goalies. There was still a little bit of back and forth going on between them, and it was quite funny to watch. And even the other coaches, and especially John, who's the third coach on the team, just kind of stood back and this has nothing to do with me. And you could feel the light mood and the fun that this game really is supposed to be and should be here today. Both the coach, or all 3 of the coaches for both sides, joking around with each other. And what I found very interesting is it's a lot of fun in these types of games. Towards the end, you're going to get that will to win. These girls did not get recruited and did not come to this game because they don't have a drive and a competitive spirit. Deborah LaPrath, one of the coaches for the West, said to Paul, he told us, after 10 minutes, it's no more all-star game. I'm going for the throat. She doesn't think that'll be enough time. She thinks her team will have a big enough lead by the 10-minute mark that they won't be able to come back.
Yeah, it's a friendly game, but everyone's here to win and everyone's competitive, and that's why they're here. They're the best because of how competitive they are.
And so far we've talked about just the players that will be on each other's teams, whether it's that they've played in club teams or they're going to play together in college. There's also rival colleges. So these girls are just starting to learn who they're going to be playing against. Nobody here from North Carolina, but a couple of your rivals. There's 2 Duke recruits here.
Yeah, I won't hold that against them.
Casey Martinez and Caroline Chagares both going to Duke. Chagares from Ramapo High School, where Paul Heenahan was her head coach, and Casey Martinez from McDonough High School. She's out of Owings Mill, Maryland. As they continue to go through the starting lineups, they're on the west side now. When you went through this process in high school, you're one of the top players in the country, and you're being recruited by all of these top schools. What was that like to go through it? What did these girls have to deal with on a daily basis of being recruited, trying to figure out where you want to go? How do you go through that process and figure it out?
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to put on a high school player, and it's a big decision to make when you're that young. And sadly, it's getting younger and younger. People are getting recruited in 8th grade, and it's crazy how early these coaches are recruiting now, but it's a fun process, and it's something that you never forget, you'll learn from. And I mean, I'm happy I made my decision to go to North Carolina, but luckily I didn't make mine till my junior year, so I was late.
And it's a lot like college football, where they're recruiting so far. Well, women's college soccer has started to get that prominence. They're starting to recruit, as you said, so early because they have to, because there's so much competition out there. And you went to a school in North Carolina where national championship is the standard, but you've seen in the last few years the playing field is kind of leveled out because there's so much talent now across the country, with soccer becoming bigger and bigger in America. And we mentioned the girls got to go last night to the College Cup, which is being held in Cary. This is the first year they've had the women's game. The men's high school All-American game has been going on for 3 years, and it follows wherever the College Cup goes. They all get to go last night and watch the College Cup. I know you didn't get to go and see that as a senior in high school, but had that happened, does that add to the drive? This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. I want to be the one on the field winning that national championship or competing for it.
Yes, definitely. I think going to the College Cup is great for these girls. It kind of sets a goal for them. And when I was a freshman, my sister actually won the national championship at USC, and I got to watch her do that. And being able to see that, it kind of puts it into perspective, and you start to realize I really want to be there one day. So it's awesome for these girls to get to come out here and watch these amazing teams.
And in last night's game, UCLA, Florida State both advancing. They'll play in the championship game, which will be held tomorrow. UCLA eliminating Virginia, who had just lost one game, and that came in the semifinal of the ACC as they were defeated by Virginia Tech. Went undefeated and untied during the regular season. Lose in a heartbreaking fashion last night. They lose in PKs. It's something you've gone through in your career. You've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
To end a season that way, is it worse to lose a regular game or to end it because you went to PKs and lost? Because you played 110 minutes of tied soccer. You're done, and then it comes down to PKs.
Yeah, PKs are always heartbreaking either way it goes. And my sophomore year, we lost in PKs, and it ended our season. And, you know, there's nothing more heartbreaking than that. And Virginia was a great team this year, and to see them go out like that, it's sad and it's hard for the girls, but they were incredible, and to make it to the Final Four was awesome for them.
You see all the girls out here now getting a picture taken of themselves. It's a memory that they'll never forget, and something that when they play each other, they'll be able to get together before the game and say, hey, how are you doing? Because they met each other here. And during the practice yesterday, one of the things the coaches did, because the girls hadn't met, it was a little messy trying to get everybody here because of the weather, flight delays, and everything. While they were practicing, they were making them call each other's names out so that they can learn each other's names. And then they get the whole day yesterday where they're in the hotel hanging out, eating. And you really make friendships that are going to last throughout your college career and possibly could go even further.
Yeah, it'll be fun for them to be able to play in college against each other and remember this game and compete together.
The substitutions, as we mentioned, will be fast and furious as this game goes on. We will try to get to them as much as we possibly can. Make sure all of these girls that have earned the right to be in this game are mentioned. And we also thank Cardinal Gibbons High School for allowing us to be here, host this game on a very, very beautiful high school field here.
Yeah.
The field turf just put in 3 years ago. And we also thank Continental Tires, who is the sponsor for this game. We'll play 2 45-minute halves. If they're tied, we will not go to an overtime. Instead, they're going to go just straight to PKs because it really doesn't matter who wins this game. Why make them play a little more? Go right into something that's a little more dramatic with the PKs. The East team will be in the blue uniforms with the red numbers. The West team in the white uniforms with the red letters.
And it looks like the West team will take the kickoff.
And for the West, one of the girls that are starting, Katie Keene from Zionsville High School, has an injury. So she'll start, and they will just kick the ball out of bounds so that they can sub her out, but just want to get her on the field so she can actually say, you know, not only did I get invited, but I got to actually get on the field and play, even if it's for 15 to 20 seconds because she can't go. Also want to mention Ari Hudson. You won't see her in the game today. As we mentioned, the weather. She was stuck in Dallas, and the flight she couldn't get here. So they made the decision once they weren't able to get here last night to just try and find a flight home, and they're still stuck in Dallas because it's so bad out on the West Coast. The only thing I can hope for being here on the East Coast is by the time it gets here, it's warm enough that it's rain and not all that snow. As we will finally get underway for the 2013 Girls High School All-American game.
And there she goes, Katie Keene subbing out because of an injury.
Keene will be going to Penn State. She had 22 goals, 13 assists in her career at Zionsville High School. Led her team in both goals and assists this past year as a team captain. As we finally get underway, and something to watch for, and we talked about it beforehand, and I heard the coaches talking about it yesterday, because these girls are all so talented. In order to play as a team, they're going to have to kind of give up a little bit of that superstar mentality that you have when you're on a high school team, but it gets them ready to go into college. That transition that we talked about from going high school where you are the all everything for your team to college where most of the time you don't go on to the team right away and be the superstar.
Yeah, and it's hard in games like this. It's similar to the national team where you come in, nobody knows you, and you want to earn your respect and you want to stand out, and it's hard because you need to play. You can't dribble all around. You got to pass. And
nice touch there for the East as they will bring it up the near sideline. That one just a little bit too far out in front of Eva Gordon. It'll be a throw in for the West. Maddie Gaffney has it taken away by Gordon, who feeds it into the middle of the field for Corbos. And that one up in the air, but easily handled by goalkeeper Samantha Johnson. Johnson, just one of 3 players in this game that have not declared for a college yet. She is undecided, as is Sarah Sullivan for the West. On the east side, Sabrina Toole is also undecided so far. And like you said, you waited until your junior year. These girls waiting a little bit longer. It's their senior year and they're done with their season, but they still can't quite pick where it is they want to go yet.
yeah, it's a tough decision, and you have to be ready and you have to know before you can make a decision like that.
A throw in deep in the east zone coming for the Western team here. Sarah Sullivan throws this one in. This one loose in the box, across to the top, a shot and a save by Megan Hins. The first shot of the game coming from the West, and Hins makes the save as she quickly gets it out for her team. Hins went to Lady of Good Counsel High School. She is out of Olney, Maryland, and is committed to Michigan. Casey Martinez, another player from Maryland, gets that one into the box. But coming off her line was Samantha Johnson, as this foul will go against the East. There you get the shot of Casey Martinez as she ran off screen, as we'll take a quick look at this replay of the almost goal for the West. Couldn't quite clear that one out of the box, and that's where the trouble started.
And it's busy with the shot. If she keeps that low and across the frame, that's a goal.
East looking to clear this one out. Some good touches here as they're able to get it out towards the middle of the field.
And you can see the teams are trying to get a rhythm here and bring it down. 1 and 2 touch passing are starting to develop.
And how hard is that? I know you want to get a rhythm even at the level as this ball gets through, making a run on it, and coming off her line for the West is Samantha Johnson, as she is able to get to it. Casey Martinez, the player for the East, who had a little bit of a chance to get to that ball, just a little too much pace on it. But as I was saying, you try to get a rhythm at any level. When you play with a team every day, Hins has to dive to make a save there. Every day it's still a tough thing to get into a nice rhythm that you want to do. These girls, going to be a little bit tougher for them because they haven't played together though.
Yeah, at any level it's tough at the beginning of the game to bring it down and get a rhythm, but I think they're doing a good job at gelling and playing 1 and 2 touch.
Now you have experience playing with members of a team that you aren't completely familiar with, the U20 national team that you played with. When you first get on the field in that very first game you've played with them, do you have a little bit of nerves going into that game? And is it nerves because you're not sure what you're supposed to do or what somebody else is supposed to do?
Yeah, there's nerves involved, and I think it's because there's players from all different colleges, all different styles. You've never played with them. They don't know your tendencies. So I think it takes a while to understand how they play and for them to understand how you play. But after a while, you know how to play the game. And everybody knows, everybody here is good enough to settle it down and do their job.
The East with this ball here is Nyber was able to clear it out of the box for the West before, looking to cross this one. But it will go out of bounds off the East and will be a goal kick coming. And I think some of the players on the East were a little confused trying to bait the ref into giving him a corner, but it will go to Samantha Johnson and she will take the goal kick.
We're only 7 minutes in and there's already been a couple great opportunities for both teams.
In this type of a game, do you expect more offensive opportunities or defensive opportunities? This one is loose. Making a run to try and get to that one was Martinez, as that shot will go just over the rail, out of bounds, as the West couldn't quite clear it away. Rachel Corbos from the Pingree School in Basking, New Jersey with that shot.
It's a great shot by Rachel. You got to keep it on frame, though. At all costs, you got to keep it low and give it a chance. Make the goalie make a save.
Before that shot, I was going to ask you, do you expect more offense or more defense? Which way does it really go when girls aren't quite familiar? As this one gets through, a nice touch and a save coming from Samantha Johnson.
Great entry pass and great turn. She kept it low and forced the keeper to make a save.
Eva Gordon with the turn there for the East team. Gets a nice shot off, but Johnson able to get up and get a hand on that one and punch it away. This corner coming for the East, a high ball into the box. It is headed away by the West, but settled down by the East. Kelly Novak sends it back out towards midfield. Rachel Wheeler gives the ball over to the near side for Maddie Gaffney as she goes down to the turf, and coming off her line is Hins to gather that one up for the East. The East looks like they're trying to slow things down just a little bit as teams have gotten a few opportunities on both sides. The West with the first 2 shots of the game. The East with the last couple of opportunities. As we'll get the first couple substitutions here for the West side. As soon as we find out who went in, we will get those subs for you.
And you can hear both teams out on the field communicating and talking, and that's going to help as they continue to try to connect and get a rhythm, and everyone seems to be stepping up and really vocal.
That was Mallory Eubanks who put that one, trying to get it into the corner a little too far on that one as it went out of bounds, but she's one of the players that just checked in for the West out of Tate's Creek High School in Lexington, Kentucky. She will be attending Mississippi State. Sending that one back to the keeper was Megan Nyber, but the West can't quite clear it as the East has this one and settle it down. Eva Gordon. This shot coming from deep, but well off frame, a goal kick for the West.
The East right now with a couple opportunities. I think if they can become a little more patient around the box, they're going to get some better looks on goal.
Caroline Chigares has that one taken away. Good defense by the West as they swarm onto that ball.
Come on, Laddie. Go.
Retreating for that one is Jessica Vigna as she'll send it back to Hins. Corbos sends it to the far side. A pass up towards midfield for the West. Nice one touch there as they look to get it ahead to Casey Martinez. Taking that one away is Katie Prosser for the West, but it'll be a throw in here for the East. Madison Turner, the other substitution who came in for the West. She's from St. Joseph's High School out of South Bend, Indiana. And she is going to Maryland, a team you're very familiar with. And she'll be going through a transition in her first year. Maryland leaving the ACC now, going over and joining the Big Ten. And for them, not to take anything away from any conference, but the ACC in soccer conference has got to be one of the best conferences for any sport. 8 teams this year made the NCAA championship. 8 of those 8 teams, 6 of them advanced to the Elite 8, 3 of them in the Final 4.
Yeah.
How tough is it to go through a season where every game you play is against a team who potentially can compete for a national championship?
It's tough, and it's different when you get out of the ACC. It's different for teams from the West to come over and play these ACC teams, and I think that the Final 4 is very telling of this. I mean, every game in the ACC is competitive and intense, and it prepares you for the College Cup.
Kristen Trimmer on defense there for the West as the East was looking to get it to Martinez. Martinez, as I said, going to Duke. Trimmer will be going to Marquette. And if you're familiar with girls high school soccer and even college soccer, is that through ball looking to get it to Martinez. Again, that's the third or fourth time we've seen the East try and get it to Martinez, but just a little far out in front of her. One of these times they're probably going to connect, and we've been told she is a dynamic finisher. If you're not familiar completely with high school soccer, teams across the country play both fall and spring seasons. For this game's purposes, the girls have to play in the fall. You have to finish your high school senior season in order to be invited. So there are girls across the country that are also All-Americans. They just aren't eligible to play in this game. Chipping that one towards the box, but headed away by the West. Novak gets a head on it as Martinez will settle this one down. And it will be a corner kick for the East, their second one here of the first half. As we have 31 minutes to go.
You can see that the East is starting to take over this game, and the West really needs someone to grab the ball and get it down and find feet if they want to get back in it.
Martinez sends a low one towards the near post that's cleared away by the West. Taken away here by Debris. As we will get some substitutions, 2 for the West, and it looks like the East will empty their bench. Everybody will sub out.
Okay. All right.
And Coach Heenahan had told us that that's probably what they would do, is run 15-minute to 10-minute stints, bring 10 players in, play another 10. Coming on for the East, Katie Stammies, Colby Sierraco, Charisma Catruno, Sammy Grasso, Sabrina Toole, Courtney Norton, Courtney Bronson, Sarah McCauley, as this shot will go wide. Came off the foot a little weird there. Kristen Desmond, Christina Klom, and Courtney Morrow all coming in, and I'm mistaken. Courtney Bronson, the goalkeeper, has not come in. She'll come in the second half for the East. And you had just said the East had kind of settled down and were taking control of this one. Well, now you get 10 brand new players in. Now they have to try and find some rhythm.
Yeah, it's tough to sub in against a team who has a rhythm and has all their players still on the field. So we'll see how the East does with that.
I joked with you a little before the game. You played for a team that was no stranger to substitutions during a game. Coach Anson Dorrance constantly bringing substitutions in off the bench. Is it something in that situation that you would rather just play, or do you like being able to come off, get a little bit of a rest, regain your breath, and then get back out on the field?
I think it's good in terms of at the end of the game, you're ready to go, you have all your juice left, and I also think that it's good for the reserves to be able to come in fresh legs and play against a team who's been playing for 45 minutes. So it does have its positives. It is hard to keep a rhythm when there's a lot of substitutions.
Sammy Grasso dribbling through the defense before it's finally poked away.
Not go.
She took that ball from about the 30-yard mark and dribbled all the way to the top of the box before the defense was finally able to stop her. Grasso, one of 2 players from St. Joseph's High School, along with Sabrina Toole out of Trumbull, Connecticut. She will be going to William and Mary. Toole is undecided still. St. Joseph's won the Connecticut Class LL State Championship this season. They were bumped up 2 classes going into the year, still were able to win the championship. They went 22-0-1 and will finish in the top 10 in the rankings. That's pretty impressive to be able to go up 2 classes and have the season that they did. Crossing midfield, looking to get that one ahead to Megan Schaefer, who was one of the substitutions for the West. But the East defense is doing a good job as they get it back to Hins, as she'll send this one out. Schaefer going to Penn State University next season. Kristen Desmond tried to settle that one for the East. I mentioned St. Joseph's High School finished in the top 10 nationally. National rankings in high school and where you finish through the champion is a little different than in college because you don't actually play a tournament at the end of the season. It's more based off of who did you play, who did you beat, how was your season. But back-to-back national champions for Maria Carrillo High School as they won it last year and this season. Katie Prosser from the West played at Maria Carrillo, as did Sarah Sullivan, and the head coach Deborah LaPrath for the West, the coach at Maria Carrillo High School.
My senior year in high school, my team actually traveled to Maria Carrillo and played Deborah and her team, and it's an awesome program and a great facility.
There went 22-1 this season. The lone tie they had was against Lady of God Council, and it was because of Megan Hins. From what I have been told, she made some unbelievable saves to help get her team that tie. And she'll be going to Michigan partly because of that game. The NSCAA has partnered with Soccer.com to offer high school soccer teams the Eurosport High School Scoreboard, a nationwide source for high school soccer results. EurosportScoreboard.com offers the ability to associate yourself with a school, add or update matches and scores, as well as post pictures and comments for the different matches.
Checking in for the West, number 23, Samantha Edwards.
Samantha Edwards will check in for the West. Edwards from Dublin, Ohio. She'll be attending Ohio State next season. Sullivan has this one as she gets it ahead to Edwards. And Edwards sends a ball. Would have been a really nice ball for Eubanks, but just a little bit to her right as it went out of bounds.
And it seems since the East subbed their new team in, the West is starting to wrestle the game back and get control a little bit here.
Again, thanks for joining us today here this afternoon. We are at Cardinal Gibbons High School. This is the 2013 Girls High School All-American Game brought to you by Continental Tires. I am Kyle Straub. I am alongside now former UNC Tar Heel superstar Kalia Ohai. Named to the first team All-ACC yet again this season. Last year you won a national championship. You also won last year the U20 World Cup Championship. How exciting was that, and which one did you like? Which one gave you more of a better feeling, a more of an accomplished feeling? Was it winning for your country or winning for your school?
They're two incredibly different experiences, and playing internationally in a World Cup it's indescribable. It's an amazing feeling to be able to represent the United States, but also being able to represent UNC.
The East with a good opportunity here. Johnson came off her line, and that one will come over and be a corner kick. Dangerous there for Johnson to come off her line as she wasn't able to control that loose ball.
And a great ball over the top with a great run.
Alana O'Neill for the East who made that run.
If she can pull that back through that seam in between those two defenders, that's a goal.
Sia Rocco will take this corner for the East. She is from Montgomery High School in Skillman, New Jersey. And she has committed to Vanderbilt. This corner, a low one that's in the box, and the West will clear it, and they'll get another corner out of it for the East. We mentioned these players, obviously all Americans, but you go through this program that we have and it has a bio for every player. And for a lot of these girls, they're also on these national teams, whether it be the U18 teams or even if they've just made a camp. But the experience, did it make you a better player being able to go there, play with not the best in the country, but the best in the world at your age group?
Yeah, I think it's a great development platform for youth players in the United States, and I think that every camp you learn something different. You get experience with different coaches, and you get to be exposed to different styles of play, so I definitely think it's helped me as a player.
The East controlling this one at midfield, challenged at midfield and taken away by Katrina Weaker. She puts a through ball into the box, but nobody home for the West as Hins will take this one. Weaker, Columbus Academy, Columbus, Ohio, has committed to play at Cornell University next season as the East has this one. Nice through ball. They have two players in the box, just a little bit too much pace on that one. It'll be a goal kick for the West. Again, it was Sammy Grasso who was in the box there for the East, as well as Kristen Desmond.
Both teams seem like they're not exposing anything out on the flanks. If they can get the ball wide and get around these backs, they might have some more success. Every attack looks pretty similar down through the middle, and the keepers are easily coming out and picking that up.
Making a turn on this one for the West, and a nice feed ahead as they get it to Mallory Eubanks. She's challenged but sends it down in the corner for Edwards, who crosses this one but can't quite get her body around it. It'll go out of bounds for a goal kick.
Right, right, yeah.
Talk about the technical things that you'll learn when you get to college. When you first went to college, you weren't a back to the goal player, but as we talked about before the game, you developed it in your last 2 years. You said you became very comfortable with your back to the net. Plays like this one that was just down in the corner where she just doesn't quite get her nose over the ball, turn on it, and it goes out of bounds, something she'll develop as she gets into college and gets under the tutelage of Division I coaching.
Yeah, I think that every little technical problem that you have is exposed in college soccer, and you're forced to kind of work on those types of things. And one thing is speed of play. The speed of play is so different in college soccer, and as quick as you can transition will determine if you're going to get out on the field.
Battle at midfield that the East will come away with as McCauley sends it across. An errant pass there from the East that's taken away by Edwards and sent back up towards midfield. Nice step up there by Sullivan as she has some room to run. She's got one defender in front of her that gets around her, but the East is able to come over and help. Yeah, putting some pressure down in the corner was Megan Schaefer. Sullivan puts this one in the box, but it's cleared out by the East. "17 minutes to go here in the first half. It's scoreless, and in the opening 10 minutes, we saw good chances for the West, and then the East seemed to get some good chances. But it seems like the defense for both teams has settled in now.
I think one element missing in this game is the final pass. We're getting some good build-up from both teams. And there's almost a great final pass there. But if you can connect on that final pass, that's where the goals will come.
The East looking to get that one to Katie Stames, just a tad out in front of her. As this one is flicked into the box, the East can't quite clear it. Getting a shot off for the West that will go off frame and over the net was Samantha Edwards. So we'll take another look at this one.
And it's a good opportunity, but again, you have to shoot it low. That's something that you'll learn in college. Every shot needs to be low.
Settling this one around midfield is Sarah McCauley, as she'll send it across looking to reverse field, but can't connect with Catrona. It'll be a throw-in for the West now. As we approach that 15-minute mark and the entire East bench clears out, it looks like all of the starters will come back in at the next whistle. Very interesting, the difference in the coaching for the way they're doing the substitutions, as the West has an opportunity here. Samantha Edwards leaves this one. Kayla Murphy tries to cross it. It will deflect off of an East defender.
And that's a good run by Murphy. If she can get her hips around that, that's a great chance for the West.
Grasso making a run on this one, but coming off her line and out of the box to get towards that one is Johnson. Grasso, a very quick player. You can see the speed there as she touches this one ahead. Kristen Desmond for the East. She'll leave that one. Nice passing there, but Desmond didn't continue to run as the West was able to take it away. And an offsides flag goes up there. Kristen Timer will restart this one for the West. From Fishers, Indiana. She'll be going to Marquette next season. Heads up play there by Hins. Before that ball was even into the box, she came off her line, seeing that her defense was outnumbered. And here will come the substitutions for the East. Casey Martinez, Rachel Corsbo, Eva Gordon, Alana O'Neill, Claire Shea, Kelly Novak, Eliza Dole, Jessica Vigna, Caroline Chigares, and Schuler Debris all back in for the East. Maddie Huster in for the West, as is Maddie Anzelk. Anzelk going to Alabama, Huster going to Wake Forest next season. Going to Wake Forest, won't play on this field, but will play plenty of games here in the Triangle over her next 4 seasons. As Martinez will take the throw in here for the East. So being on a team where you go through a lot of substitutions, when you come back into a game, do you get right back into the flow of things, or does it take you a few minutes to get back into that flow that you had right before you came out?
Sometimes it takes a few minutes, and I think it's interesting to see these two different coaches' styles. And the East seems like it's been 3 different games so far. It's 3 completely different teams going back and forth. The West is kind of starting to get more of a rhythm, and maybe that has something to do with the substitution patterns.
The West earning their first corner of the game here. Sarah Sullivan to take this one. Sullivan, one of the 3 undecideds in this game. And an offsides flag will go up against her. For the West, just subbing a few players at a time. They get different rotations, different groups of girls out there. Some may work, some may not work as well. For the East, they just have the 2 set rotations of 10 players and 10 players. That one a throw in for the West. The East with it on the back line as they will settle things down just a little bit here as we are approaching the 10.5-minute mark of the first half in a scoreless game here. The 2013 Girls High School All-American game on NSCAA TV, brought to you by Continental Tires. The East with an opportunity here as they get it into the box, but the West defense is able to take it away from Caroline Chagares and clear it away. A throw in for the East. Shea has this one. She'll take a shot, but it'll go wide left. A goal kick for the West.
And it's another great touch by Shea. Great turn. Gives her a lot of time to get a shot off. Again, getting it on frame is key.
Johnson will set this one out. It is headed off by Nyber. Giving chase for the West. Down in the corner here is Samantha Edwards. She is being pressured by Kelly Novak. Nice through ball there for the West. They have an opportunity with Kayla Murphy in the box. She tries to get around the defenders, but coming over with good help is Kelly Novak, coming all the way back from her forward position to help out on defense. Quickly on the counterattack, Eva Gordon for the East. She gets this one into the box for Martinez. Martinez will dribble and send it back out top. Cher takes a shot low, but it'll go just wide. And a good job there by the East. You saw great movement, and they get a good shot. But again, like you said, can't quite get it on frame.
That's a great play by the East. The key to this is that near post run. If she doesn't make that near post run, the defender clears it out. Great slot. And a good low shot.
Martinez gets it back out top for Shea, but the shot goes just wide left as the West will bring in another substitution.
A little miscommunication there, and that's something that you start to learn players' tendencies as you play with them more and more.
Turnover by the East here as Jamison has it for the West. Again, it's Novak who comes back and helps out. Novak going to Kentucky. She is from Strongsville, Ohio. Was a 2013 OSS CA All-State first team selection. and the Greater Cleveland Player of the Year.
Good pressure by the East, not allow her to get any time to turn.
The West sustaining possession in the attacking third. Haven't been able to get a shot off yet, as this one is in the box and cleared away by Alana O'Neill. O'Neill out of Washingtonville, New York. One of 4 players on the East team that will be attending Syracuse University, as the West has an opportunity here with Samantha Edwards at the top of the box. But the East defense doing a good job again. That back line staying strong and clears it out.
And Samantha Edwards has had most of her success this day going wide. As soon as she goes inside, there's so many defenders clogging that space. So if she can find a way to get around them towards the outside, I think things will happen for the West.
Edwards with 68 career goals, 45 assists, was an All-American last year as well as this year. Was on the U18 ECNL 2013 National Championship team. Maddie Huster will clear that one off the end line. A goal or a corner kick coming for the East as we approach 5.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Martinez sends this corner in. It's at the top of the box, punched away by Johnson. Still loose, though. In the box, a shot. Johnson with a save, point-blank save by Johnson. We'd like to thank Choice Hotels, the official sponsor of the NSCAA. Wherever the game takes you, Choice Hotels makes getting there easy. Visit choicesportshoteltravel.com to book your hotel. And we see the replay, a great save by Johnson, point blank, after the West tries to clear it away.
And a great shot, great save, way to keep it low. That's just unlucky.
Caroline Chagares with that shot for the East. Corbos has this one for the East. She'll try and reverse field, get it into the box, but it's headed away. And coming away with this one is the West. A nice touch there at midfield, but just a little behind for Taylor Jamison as the East will come now on a counterattack. A shot from deep. Johnson has it bounce off her hands, but is able to gather in that rebound. That foul against the East around midfield. 3.5 to go here in this first half.
Go get it.
The East will come over towards this near sideline to try and clear it upfield, but there to stop that one is Sarah Sullivan and take possession back. Shea's pass intended for Gordon, but taken away at midfield. As Catherine Bruline has it for the West. She sends it to the near side. Trying to cross that one into the box was Edwards. And here comes the East. Coming down the far side. Plenty of room. Just 3 defenders for the West. At the top of the box, Eva Gordon, she can't quite get a foot on that one as the West is able to clear it out.
That's a great run and a great play by the East. Slotting that high slot low.
Here comes the East again in the box with a shot. Johnson with a diving save. Johnson has come up with a few big saves for the East as that shot for the West, as that shot for the East will go wide. Again, it was Kelly Novak for the East. We've called her name a lot in the last few minutes. But there's your player of the first half so far, Samantha Johnson, coming up with a couple of huge saves late here in the first half to keep a clean sheet so far. Martinez turns on this one, but it's poked away by the West to throw in for the East. Novak sends it back to Corbos. Gets it ahead to Martinez. She's got one defender in front of her. Moves to her right. Takes a shot just over the crossbar. We'll take a look at the replay here from Martinez.
Great move to get inside on her defender. Just enough time to get a shot off. And a great bend looking far post.
Corbos has it, sends it across for the East, but stepping up and taking that one away is Phillips for the West, as we're under 30 seconds to go here in this first half. One last chance coming here for the East. They'll get a throw in with 15-14 to go. Quickly getting it into Martinez. She tries to settle it. And with 3 seconds left, this one's going to go to halftime. The East and the West side, some great play from both sides of the team. But nobody able to get one in the back of the net yet. As you see a shot of some of the friends and family and just fans of high school and college soccer who have come out to see this game here at Cardinal Gibbons High School today.
And the East at the end of that half with a lot of quality chances. Samantha Johnson coming up big for the West.
The National Soccer Coaches Association of America is pleased to offer its member coaches the opportunity to recognize on an annual basis an outstanding senior student athlete on their team through the presentation of the High School Senior Excellence Award. The award was created to allow NSCAA member coaches at the high school level to recognize an outstanding senior athlete in their program with the intent of honoring exceptional contributions to the team while exemplifying the finest attributes of a high school student athlete. Find out more at www.nscaa.com/awards. So we will go to halftime, tied up to 0-0 here at the 2013 High School Girls All-American game here on NSCAA TV. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with some halftime stats and highlights and a couple interviews.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
The new fall flooring styles are here, and we've got them on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Save on new hand-scraped and exotic hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and more. Choose from 53 floors under $2 a square foot. Don't wait, sale's going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
The training opponent mannequin, or TOM, may be the most unique and versatile piece of training equipment offered by Quick Goal. TOM has a variety of uses: free kicks, shadow play, restart, set pieces. TOMs are durable, transportable, and easily installed. Play on all surfaces using the wheeled, high-impact plastic TOM bases. Quick Goal TOMs, an essential part of any team's training kit.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCA is strictly prohibited. Tonight's matchups was produced for the NSCAA by Triangle Video Productions. Up next for the NSCAA broadcast will be Tuesday, December 10th at 1 p.m. It will be the NSCAA Highlights and Ranking Show. And then Saturday, December 14th at 2 p.m., the 2013 Fall Boys High School All-American Game in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is a cold one here in Chapel Hill in Raleigh. Hopefully it will be a little bit better in Philly, but you never know up in the Northeast. We take a look at the Fall Girls National Top 10. Maria Carrillo, as we mentioned, two-time national champions, went 22-0-1 this season. And I am joined by the organizer of this event, Eric Stratman. And Eric, the first year that you've done the women's game, you've done the men's game 3 years now. How did you really get this process going?
Well, we just kind of took, I've been watching all these other high school events like the McDonald's All-American Game and the Under Armour football game. And, we looked at so many great soccer players. I was running other events and saw a bunch of great soccer players, and just, a couple of years of saying, why doesn't somebody do this? And nobody ever did it, and I finally just decided it was time I tried it. So I had some very good support from some people at the beginning. And it allowed us to take off, and once we took off, we've just been able to hit the ground running. And with the boys' game, it's kind of on cruise control, so it was time to start the girls' game too.
And for people that don't know, how do you actually go through the process of selecting who gets to play in these games? You have girls all over the country that are deserving of it, but you have to narrow it down somehow.
Yeah, what we do is we look at lists from previous years and see what players might have been All-Americans or All-State the year before, and we compile that list, and then we try the best we can to work with the coaches around the country, submit names, and we talk with people like Sheldon Sheeler at Student Sports as well, and we just compile a list the best we can, but we need a lot of input. And once we have that input, then we start narrowing the list down and talk to coaches and come up with that list. And unfortunately, it's just so hard to stop at 22 because you could go to about 40 on each team, really.
Yeah. So one of the things I think is the coolest is you change this game every year with the men's. You plan on doing the same with the women's, where you follow the College Cup and you actually bring the girls to the games. So they all went to the games last night. For the girls, from your experience, how much do they enjoy that?
Well, they loved it. Last night I texted them because our training schedule yesterday was very difficult, and we had to change some things because we had some travel issues from the night before. So we ran really short on some time, and so we kind of ate on the go. And I asked them last night between games, I said, how about we leave at halftime of the second game? And I got an overwhelming, no, we want to stay. So I think the weather had a lot to do with that. I think if it was the temperature it is right now, they probably just said, we're out of here, Coach. But they didn't. So they enjoyed it, and they had a great time there. And, hopefully as we move forward, we'll start seeing some of these kids playing in that College Cup as well. And that's when it'll be really cool.
And that's something you had told me you've experienced with the boys already.
Yeah.
Other players that have been for this one now playing in the College Cup, and you'll be there next weekend up in Philadelphia for the boys game.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me. Eric Stratman, the organizer of this High School All-American game. And you can catch the boys' 2013 High School All-American game next weekend up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to take a quick break, come back with highlights and stats.
Tra la la tra la pleasure.
Did we win?
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Welcome back to Cardinal Gibbons High School here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am now joined by Rob Kehoe, the NSCAA Director of College Programs. Rob, thanks for joining us. Right now, the Women's College Cup's going on. Talk a little bit about the Final Four and just in whole, the women's college soccer season this year.
Well, first of all, the College Cup event last night, the semifinals, was exceptional soccer, hosted at a beautiful location by wonderful host at Wake Med Park. Over 10,200 were there in attendance last night to see two exceptional games, and so it, I think, is a statement of the value of the college game, the experience of it, the excitement of it, and the attraction of it as well, as was on display last night, the quality of play and all the people there to enjoy it.
Now, what are some of the key issues you're going to work on this off-season and for the NSCA and for college soccer?
Well, at this time of the year, along with our theme is always to improve the quality, visibility, and popularity of the sport. So between the end of the College Cups and the beginning of the new season, we continue to review and refocus our efforts toward refining our award systems, our rankings. We work with the NCAA relating to rules, working with the officials. So it's all with a view of moving from the platform from one season to work to improve it in the next.
Now, as we're sitting here, we're watching the All-American game. You look out here, you see all of these All-Americans. It's clear that not just girls, but women's soccer in whole is bigger and stronger than ever, and so is the college soccer game.
Well, I think this weekend is a very good demonstration of that, where we have this high school All-America game that's sponsored by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. We talked about the semifinals and tomorrow the finals of the College Cup. Also in town, we have hundreds of youth teams playing in a soccer showcase, which really makes a statement as to how popular the game is. And at the high school level, for instance, as Eric mentioned, we've got 40 or so players out here who are selected as All-Americas. There's over 350,000 high school girls soccer players who are playing in over 10,000 schools around the country. So the obvious is that the popularity is very strong and continues to grow. And we look at that in terms of this weekend, which I would look at, I mean, having visited last night with people from the National Women's Soccer League, April Heinrichs, Jill Ellis from the United States women's national teams, to see that they're all here to celebrate girls and women's soccer. And even as you have Kalia on the program today, as far as having her debut in color, congratulating her from her days in Draper, Utah, to having gone to the University of North Carolina, and yesterday was recognized as an All-American and the NCAA Division I Senior Class Award winner. So congratulations to Kalia. And again, it's a good example of somebody who started in youth soccer and went through the high school and youth system and then was able to enjoy the college experience that she did. Probably not quite as long as she would have wanted to have enjoyed it. But
I don't think anybody ever wants to leave college.
No. Well, and it's interesting, too, as you look at this, and I mean, when you think of North Carolina losing 5 games this year and Stanford losing 7, for those programs who typically, if they lose 2 in a season, that's an exceptional situation. But to recognize that the quality of soccer and the competition level continues to grow, that puts higher level of demand on all of the programs. And just again see the players having opportunities to go from youth, and just talking to Kalia a little bit ago, next stop for her is going to be in the NWSL to be able to extend her career. So again, this weekend has been a celebration, continues to be, of girls and youth soccer. And the NSCA, we're very proud to be a part of this.
And how happy have you been so far with this game? I was here yesterday for the practice. The girls had never met each other, didn't know names, but you could just see how much fun they were having out here practicing. Now they're getting to play out in this game. You've got to be ecstatic with that so far.
Well, absolutely. And as you were talking about, the conditions are a little bit chilly, but it's not affecting anything on the field. And I was thinking of this, even as you just mentioned it a couple minutes ago, about in the next years or so, we'll see some of these players playing in the deep rounds of the NCAA tournament and possibly into the College Cup. And as I was watching, even from the start of the game, seeing good quality play, as last night, watching the ball on the carpet the whole night, just very, very good play in terms of the quality, the speed, the agility of players, and to see this reflected in these high school players who are going to be on those college rosters next year, I think bodes very well for the future of the game.
Well, Rob, thank you for joining us. We hope that this can continue to grow and become what it is getting to become, just a great opportunity for young girls and women of all ages as college soccer grows, and you're a big part in helping that happen.
Well, thank you. It's very, very enjoyable being a part of the event. And Kyle, Kalia, thank you for your work today to help present this and give the recognition of this to these young players who have dedicated and committed themselves to becoming not only good on the field but in the classroom, and helping them to have this platform for their next step. So thanks, and wonderful job in presenting this game.
Rob Kehoe, the NSCAA Director of College Programs, thank you once again, as we have gotten 6 minutes gone here in this second half. Starting in the second half, the players that did not start in the first half for both teams, and then the 2 goalkeepers are switched. So Catherine Schmidt in for the West. She is from Zionsville High School. She'll be going to IUPUI. And Courtney Bronson going to Syracuse for the East. Registration for the 2014 NSCAA convention is now open. Join 10,000 of your coaching peers for soccer's biggest party this January 15th through 19th in Philadelphia. We guarantee that you will learn something new from the world's best clinicians and gain some new connections by attending one of the many networking socials. You can even get your coaching diplomas during the week. Visit nscaa.com/conventions for all event details. Back on headset now. Kaylia Ojai, they stole your headset. They didn't want you to get back on. You were doing too good of a job. And we're back underway. So in the second half, we haven't seen really a great opportunity so far, but that's got to be settling back in. You go into halftime, I'm sure the coach has made some adjustments in what they're going to do, not quite like a normal game.
Yeah, I think the new lineups and the start of the second half is causing it to be a little bit frantic, but we're starting to calm down now, and hopefully we'll see some good chances.
Trying to reverse field for the East there was Sierraco, but it's taken away by the West. And it'll be an East throw-in. Just having talked with Eric and Rob, 4 years ago is when you went through what these girls are going through now. From your experience, how much has it changed? I know you don't see everything that they go through, but the fact that this game actually is taking place now compared to when you were there doing this 4 years ago, do you notice a big difference?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference. I think women's soccer is growing a lot in America, and I think the World Cup and the Olympics has a lot to do with that. And I remember I went to the NSCAA convention, but they never had a game like this, and I would have loved to be able to be a part of something so special and an experience that these girls are never going to forget. So I think it's awesome that they're doing this.
The West had an opportunity there, but it is taken away by Catruno as she dribbles upfield and leaves it for Novak. A nice touch ahead for Catruno. She's got it down in the corner for the East. Defended by Bingham as she gets it across the top of the box. Lets that one go. Dribbling to her left is Sierraco as she's taken down. And it looked like it was inside the box. As we'll take a quick look again. It's going to be a PK here for the East.
Great ball by the East and a good dummy. And yep, that's inside the box.
And it will be Colby Sierraco to take this PK. Montgomery High from Skillman, New Jersey. She will be going to Vanderbilt next year, and the best opportunity for either team so far to try and get on the board. Are PK something that you practice in high school?
Yeah, and I practice in high school, and we practice. That's a great finish. And we practiced every day with UNC. So it's something that you always need to be working on and ready to go.
Diving, trying to get to that one, but not able to get there was Catherine Schmidt because Colby Chiraco went top shelf in the right corner. It is 1-0 East. 36:02 left on the clock. Sierraco was named the 2012 New Jersey Soccer State Player of the Year. 79th ranking for top drawer. Had 78 goals in her high school career, and I'm not sure if you can count this one towards high school or toward college or somewhere in the middle, but she has the only one in this game as that foul will go against the West. And I was just thinking in my mind, I wonder if they took that ball off after the goal, because in a game like this, that's probably something that she'll want to keep. She can put that on her shelf, have it in her dorm room. And as I think that, you could hear in the background Coach Heenahan calling to switch the ball as they take it off and put that one aside for her to take home. A really nice keepsake for her.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to remember such an incredible experience, something they'll remember the rest of their lives.
Not just the first goal in this game, but because this is the first time that we have ever had the high school All-American game, it is the first ever goal in the high school All-American women's game. The West sending this one out towards midfield. Battling before it is Kristen Desmond for the East and Rachel Wheeler for the West, as Wheeler's whistled for the foul. You see a shot there. Or excuse me, it was Christina Klom from Rockville Center, New York. She will be going to Providence.
You can see the game's getting a lot more aggressive. We've had 3 fouls in the last couple minutes, so the ref is trying to calm it down and get control of this game.
Christina Klom from Rockville Center, New York, somebody that you played with for 4 years. Crystal Dunn, also from that same area.
Yeah, Crystal's from Rockville Center. I played with her at UNC and also got to play with her with the U20 national team. So a great player playing on the full team right now. Actually at camp with the full team right now in Los Angeles.
She missed a couple of games during the regular season as she was up with the U.S. women's national team. And she'll also, will she be entering the draft for the Women's Soccer League?
Yep, she'll be entering the draft as well and continuing to play with the full team.
Any possibility of you two ending up on the same team again?
We hope. I don't know if it'll happen again, but we would love that.
Rachel Bingham gets set to throw that one in. Bingham, as you said before, one of the 2 players from your home state of Utah, will be attending BYU next season. You won 4 state championships while you were at high school. How is the level of high school soccer in Utah compared to, say, the college level? You go from high school to college. How big of a jump was it for you?
It's a lot different, and it's a big jump, but I think Utah soccer is getting bigger and bigger and growing so much, and you can see that in the BYU soccer program. They've become much stronger in the past years, and we actually played them last year in the quarterfinals. So we won in double overtime. So it's a great soccer program, and I think that that's reflective of how much the state is growing in women's soccer.
Retreating to get that one for the East is Morrow, as she'll send it back to Bronson. Shot coming from the West. That will go wide. Taylor Jameson with the shot for the West team. Jameson out of Twin Valley High School from Elverson, Pennsylvania. She will go to VCU next season. As we see a little bit of a change of strategy in the coaching for the East, as they just sub out a few of the players instead of the entire team subbing like in that first half. Stepping in front of that one, taking it away, is Workart. Heads that one as it'll get into the box, but the East clears it out. They'll reverse field to come to the near sideline where Catruno will have it. She'll send it back to the defense. Now at midfield with a little room on a run here for the East is Grasso, but if offsides flag will go up on her.
And that's a great ball and a great idea. Grasso's got to watch that line and make sure she stays on sides.
Sarah McCauley from Chase Colgate, Waterbury, Connecticut, going to Yale with that pass. But Grasso just a step too fast. As the West now gets an opportunity, but an offsides flag will go up against them. That one was Taylor Jameson down in the corner. A goal kick coming for the East here. Things have seemed to slow down a little bit in the second half. We saw a lot of good opportunities for both sides there in the first half, but besides the PK, things have kind of slowed just a little for both teams.
Yeah, neither team besides the PK have had any dangerous chances in this half. Again, I think that's the final pass that's missing. We need someone to bring it down, connect near the box, remain patient, and hit it low and across the frame.
Debris will send that one back to Bronsnan. This is Martinez on the far side. Good touch there by Klom as she tried to get it to Martinez, but sliding in to clear that one out of bounds is the West defense. Just under 28 to go here in this game. 1-0 East. Colby Ciaraco with the only goal so far in the game, coming off a penalty kick here in this second half.
And this is great patience by the West back line. Great chance for them to switch the point and draw the East out so they can get an opportunity forward.
Novak putting some pressure on that back line as she's able to take it away from Sarah Sullivan. Novak makes a move towards her left, but Sullivan steps in front of that one. It'll be cleared upfield by the West. Good job by Sullivan there with on-ball defense there. Novak able to take it away, but Sullivan gets it right back. Claire Shea for the East tried to send that one in the box. Shea will send it to this near sideline. Courtney Norton dribbles to her left, continues to dribble, looking for somebody to get it to, and she'll finally get it over to McCauley, who will send this one in the box on the ground, and it'll go over the end line for a goal kick.
The East right now needs to just find some patience. If it's not on, switch the point. Find someone's feet. You don't need to force it or take a shot that far out.
Eliza Dole checking into the game for the East. She is from Bethesda, Maryland. Will be going to Colgate next season. Chigares has this one as she sends it over to the far side, or the near side for Dole. She crosses that one, but nobody home. Gathering it is McCauley, and she'll try and send it back in. It'll go off of a defender out of bounds for a corner kick. Martinez to take the corner for the East. She'll send this one out towards the top of the box. It is loose and finally cleared away by the West. Under 25 minutes to go here in the game. 1-0 East. As a reminder, you are watching NSCAATV.com. NSCAA TV features original programming, live streams, and content promoting the college, high school, and youth game. Additionally, the site also includes coaching education material the association is known for, including live video chats with highly knowledgeable member coaches and partner organizations. A couple of players got tangled up on this near sideline, and I believe it's Taylor Jamison that went down for the West. It looked like she fell on her shoulder. She wasn't able to brace herself. And the last thing you want to see in an all-star game like this is somebody get hurt.
Yeah, in a friendly game like this, you don't want anyone getting hurt, but at the same time, these players are so competitive. They're going to go in hard for everything, so there's a fine line. And it looks like she's okay.
Looks a little shaken, but able to get up on her own power. And they'll bring a substitution in for her as she will walk across around the field to go over towards the bench, where I'm sure the training staff will do a little more work on her to make sure everything is okay. Taylor Jamison from Twin Valley High out of Elverson, Pennsylvania, committed to VCU, and it will be the East who will restart things with just over 24 minutes to go here in the game. Maddie Schaefer for the West has it, but it will go out of bounds off of her. Good job of shielding there by the East defense. It'll be a goal kick for the East.
And that's great defense by the East, never leaving a player alone, always supporting so that they have cover. And if you can step in and double and win it, you do, and that's what happened.
Chigares had that one for the East. He sent it over to Dahl, who sent it upfield. This is Gordon as she's able to dribble around into the box. Has some room as she tries to center it, but it will go off of the feet of Kristen Timer out of bounds. It was a corner kick again for the East.
And that's a great run by Eva Gordon. Getting around the corner, looking back low, and creating a corner kick opportunity for the East.
Gordon is going to Syracuse next season. She was ranked regionally the #1 player in New York, and Top Drawer gave her a ranking of number 38. As Martinez will send this one in the box. The West able to clear it out, but stepping up to take it is Schuler Debris. She gets a ball in for Martinez, but an offsides flag will go up against Casey Martinez. Catherine Schmidt sends that one in. We'll get some substitutions on the east side. Rachel Corbo's one of the ones that came in. Nice ball there for the West as they get it down to Samantha Edwards. We saw Edwards with a few chances in the first half for the West. That one will go out of bounds, a throw in for the West. Katie Prosser throwing it in. Nice shot there from the West. That was Catherine Bueller.
And that's great strength by Bueller, and back to pressure. Turning on her defender and getting a far post shot.
Looked a little bit like a play you would do on a throw in with the back to the goal. Catherine Buerlein from Knoxville, Tennessee. She will go to Wolford next season. Casey Martinez takes a shot that goes off frame, hits the side of the net. It'll be a goal kick as we go under 20 minutes here in the game. Martinez, one of the players, when I was here yesterday, they all got here. The coaches told them to line up and start warming up, and Martinez was the one who was very vocal and started leading everybody immediately. Was named a 2013 All-State First Team in Maryland. 68 rank for top drawer, and she'll be attending Duke University. As she'll cross this one in.
That leadership is something that will help you so much in college. And if you come into a program and you can lead, the coach wants you out on the field. So that's going to be huge for her at Duke.
Everybody knows about the UNC Duke rivalry when it pertains to basketball. How big do you take it when it comes to soccer? I know I've been down here long enough that I know it goes across everything. Duke, UNC, Durham, Chapel Hill, but a lot of people that don't live here, don't see the games, don't realize just how deep that actually goes.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry for the women's soccer program, and Duke has gotten a lot stronger in the last couple years, and it's always so much fun being able to play them and get all the fans, no matter where you're at, no matter which school you're playing at. And we have a lot of friends, though, so it's a friendly rivalry, but it's definitely there.
As Martinez tries to settle this one down for the East, it's taken away by that back line of the West. As they'll send it upfield, they have some numbers, but that one can't quite get through. Novak has it, gets it ahead. This is Gordon. Gordon takes a shot, goes just wide. Eva Gordon got that one in the box, took that shot, had a great opportunity to give the East the 2-0 lead, as we'll take a quick look at this replay.
And a great ball by Novak. Gordon doesn't give up on the play. If she gets that on frame, it's a goal.
Gordon from Albany, New York, will be attending Syracuse. I mentioned it in the first half. 4 players from the East going to play for Syracuse next season. Novak battling for this one. Settled away by Dahl. Still has it as it went off of Nyber, and it went off Nyber again out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the East.
And that corner kick was created by Dahl, whose sister plays at Stanford. And I played with her in a couple U20 camps, and she's a great player, Alexa Dahl.
A goal for the East gives them the 2-0 lead off their corner kick. Chagares is able to get it in the back of the net.
Do I have an eye for players or what? It doesn't take much to see her. But I just saw 2 touches that she did in one movement. That was enough for me.
Top drawer ranking number 7 in the country, was the Gatorade Player of the Year in New Jersey.
Great ball by Dahl. Missed clearance, and she just takes it down low under the keeper's reach. Great finish by Chagares.
Nice job of settling that ball. The West just couldn't quite clear it. And she made them pay as the East gets on the board yet again and has the 2-0 lead. Just over 16 minutes to go here in the game. Caroline Chagares going to Harvard next year. Not just good at soccer, but a very smart girl. Has been named every year she was in high school a top 20 player in the nation. A big recruit for Harvard. Played at Ramapo High under Paul Heenahan. And that's going to be a throw-in for the West. Gaffney on the far side for the West, battling with Vigna. Nice pass there.
Great
as
pass.
Sullivan has it. She'll take a shot, but it deflects off a defender and out of bounds. Sarah Sullivan from Maria Carrillo High School, back-to-back national champions. The East just scores off a corner. Now the West with an opportunity here. Sent towards the back post, but it will go out of bounds as it lands on top of the goal. Sullivan with the shot for the West. Her teammate in this game, also her teammate in high school, Katie Prosser, as they both attended Maria Carrillo High School.
Another sub from the East. Dahl will leave the game, and Kristen Desmond comes in.
The East with another opportunity as this one's in the box. Gordon had it. But it is poked away by the defense. It'll be another corner kick for the East. Gordon with a couple of opportunities here in the last few minutes. This one earns the East yet another corner kick as Casey Martinez will take it again. It worked out for them last time. Sends that one in. It's punched away by the keeper. As Schmidt was able to get on top of that one, and it will go out of bounds, a throw in for the East. Good job of Smith to elevate and get that one before anybody else could get ahead on it and clear it away. Desmond to throw that one in. She'll be attending Hofstra University next year. Schaefer takes that one away as she was pressured by Chagares. Martinez with a little bit of room to dribble. She makes a move in towards her right. Gets it across on top. This is Chagares again as she'll take it away.
And this is the patience that the East team was missing in the first half.
That shot from deep coming from Gordon was easily handled by Schmidt. Second half started a little slow, but you've seen the East slowly gain control of this game, continue to put pressure on the West. They've gotten 2 goals so far as we approach the just under 12 minutes. That ball gets through. Gordon with another opportunity in the box. The keeper comes out. There's a collision as Gordon goes down to the ground. Schmidt had come out, and they got to the ball at virtually the same time. Gordon is able to get up, a little shaken up, as we'll take a look at this replay. A nice through ball, and that's where the competitive spirit starts coming through. It's a friendly game, but they both want to get to that ball. It's what their instincts tell them.
And that's a great decision by Schmidt to come out and stop that 1v1 from happening.
Some nice touches here from the East. Busy Phillips has it. She gets it into Gordon. Gordon touches it, but a little out in front of her off that touch as Schmidt is able to come off the line and get it. Excuse me, that wasn't Busy Phillips. That was Kelly Novak. I got the East and West mixed up. Coming away with it at midfield is Chigaris. She flicks that one on for Gordon. Gordon with another opportunity. One-on-one with the keeper. Gets around the keeper. Has some defenders in front, and it'll be deflected out of bounds. A corner kick coming for the East. Gordon has had about 6 opportunities here in this second half, but the West just not allowing her to get it in goal.
That's great defense by the West and a great final pass by Chigaris to get Novak in.
Once again, it'll be Casey Martinez to take this corner as we approach the 10-minute mark in the game. And this is the point where the coaches said that no more friendly game. They want the win. As the West will clear this one away. They have this ball in space, but coming up from that back line is Alana O'Neill for the East. It's a throw in here off the West. Kristen Desmond to throw it in, as we'll get a couple of substitutions here. Madison Turner will check out for the West, and Eva Gordon will check out for the East.
And a great second half for Eva Gordon. So many quality chances.
Claire Shea has this one as she'll try and send it into the box. It is settled by the West and cleared away. Flicked on at midfield. A nice touch there by Schaefer as she tries to track it down, but coming well out of the box to kick that one out of bounds is Brosnan. Martinez and Chigaris will now come out for the East. Sia Rocco will come back in. She scored the first goal in this game off the PK. At the top of the box and cleared away by the East. Neither player knew where it was for a second. For the West, Maddie Huster will come out. Katrina Weekert was the one who came in.
And another corner kick opportunity for the West to try to get back in this game. Taken by number 7, Mallory Eubanks.
The East is able to head this one out of the box, but nobody controls it yet. Taking a shot from deep was Gaffney, as the West will try and settle this one down as they make a push to try and get on the board here and get close. Sent up field. The East with an opportunity here as Stamies has it. She gets it across. It's in the box as Novak has it. Her shot will go wide and will be a corner kick for the East.
The amount of corner kicks we've had in this half really shows how much each team has been attacking and how well the defense has done by not letting them get a cross off and clearing it out.
Klom to take this corner as she sends it in. Headed by the West, but still loose. Looking to settle it is Catruno. And this one will be a goal kick for the West. Courtney Norton coming in for the West, or for the East, excuse me. The West with an opportunity here at the top of the box. It's Schaefer. She takes a shot. Tracking this one, trying to get to it before it goes out of bounds, but not quite able to get there in time. It'll be a goal kick for the East. Sarah Sullivan for the West wasn't able to get there quite in time as ball just crossed that end line, as we're now under 5 minutes to go here in this game. That foul going against the West as Schaefer was whistled for it. O'Neill and Norton play a little back and forth. The East keeping it on the back line as they will patiently work it upfield. But that touch will go out of bounds. Quickly throwing it in is the West.
With under 4 to go, the East doesn't need to attack. They just need to manage this game and make sure that the West doesn't score a goal to get back in it.
One goal from the West would really give them a little boost here in the last couple minutes, make them press even harder. That 2-goal deficit, a nice cushion for the East as they're able to just sit on it, but the West continuing to push. Katie Prosser has it. She gets it ahead, trying to get it into the box as they were looking for Kayla Murphy. Novak has it now for the East, but it's taken away as Prosser will get it back to Murphy. Murphy looks to get it ahead as she was looking for Weikert, but a little out in front of her. There's under 3 minutes to go now. That whistle will go against the West. It's a handball called against Schaefer. And the East still playing this one on that back line. They'll slowly work it out, spread the field. And that touch will go out of bounds again and give the West a throw in. I know it didn't happen much in your career, but when you're down and you're trying to get the ball away from a team who just tries to spread the field, what can you really do to get possession of it and take it away from them?
Well, all you can really do is push everybody up and try to get as much pressure on the ball as you can. It's always frustrating when a team is stalling or trying to waste time, but it just comes down to pressure and trying to get the ball back as soon as you can.
This one a throw-in for the East as we approach a minute and a half to go here from Cardinal Gibbons Field. That one will go across the end line and be a goal kick for the West. Hustling to place this one is Schmidt. Her kick will go out towards midfield. It's headed by the East. Sirocco was able to get above everybody and put that one down towards the west side, but it'll go out of bounds as we're under a minute now to go. And a player for the West goes down now. It looks like they're working on the right leg.
With under 45 seconds, you never want to see a player go down like that. The game's almost over.
Oh, you struck us all down? It was 1-1. We were up 1-0, and then she just said 1-1 now, and then she just tied.
I'm not sure what player it was for the West.
What happened? Tell that you know that 1-1 is a tie. Tell you know 1-1 is a tie. But it started at 2:15 and they only played like 30 minutes, right? So should be over there. Unless it started late.
You see a few of the East coaches over there. As they will help her up. That is Kristen Timer that had gone down. As they will help her off the field. And like you said, in under a minute to go, is you really don't want to see someone get hurt, and you hope that it's just she tweaks something and that she'll be okay. As Schmidt will put this one back in, 45 seconds in the game. The East will send it to their back line. On the far side, dribbling this one into the box, but it's taken away by Gaffney. Will go out of bounds. The throw-in coming for the East as there is 10 seconds to go. The East will win the first ever Girls High School All-American game 2-0 over the West here at Cardinal Gibbons Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Final score today for Cardinal Gibbons High School. The East All-Americans
2 goals for the East, both coming in this second half. Enough to get them to victory.
Love you, Tina. My wife told me she could hear this.
Yeah, I know. We got a couple phone calls too.
Did you?
Yeah.
As we'll take a look at some of the fans who are excited. The players congratulating themselves as the East team wins 2-0 over the West. Colby Ciarrocco with the first goal of the game, the first goal of the All-American game. As we take a look at it now, it was a foul that was called in the box, gave her a PK. She was able to step up and score this goal for the East.
And a great finish.
Put it in the top right corner.
Schmidt can't get to it, puts him up 1-0.
Then a little bit later in the second half, off a corner kick, Caroline Chagares with the second goal.
And Chagares with a great touch, bringing it down, volleying it low.
And that was all that was needed. A goal from Ciarrocco and one from Chagares as the East won this one 2-0. We're going to step aside for a quick break here from Cardinal Gibbons Stadium.
Tra la la tra la pleasure.
Registration for the 2014 NSCAA convention is now open. Join 10,000 of your coaching peers for soccer's biggest party this January 15th through the 19th in Philadelphia. We guarantee that you will learn something new from the world's best clinicians and gain new connections by attending one of the many networking socials. You can even get your coaching diploma during the week. Visit nscaa.com/conventions for all event details. Thanks for joining us here from Cardinal Gibbons Stadium. The East won it 2-0 over the West. Big thanks to Eric Stratman and Rob Kehoe for helping put this on. For my broadcast partner, Kaylia Ohai, and our technical producer, Kyle Lang, I'm Kyle Straub saying so long.